Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
The lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief. Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is the woman on the boat does not.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on a first-name basis with her. Pig's not half as dumb as he looks. I ain't no...
Actually,
We weren't put on this earth to make...
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Just an ordinary wall. Just an ordinary wall. Yeah. Why?
why must we stop to look at this wall every time we pass by? We have...
Trying to sneak up on me!
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes...
Not looking for any trouble, officer. There's no trouble. I'm just speaking in a lowered voice. I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the...
Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at them.
All right, but make it quick. Once I...
By God, this young man has the body of a decathlete. His lithe form was practically made for vaulting over the high bar.
I'd even go so far as to say that the view is a little too good, my dear gendarme. Do you have an estimate of when the body will be taken away?
We will remove the body as soon as possible. Now tell us, where were you last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you? No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more...
Last week? I don't know. Look.
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over. It was my Sunday friend.
A Sunday friend. How intriguing. Makes sense. Friends are nice on Sunday. You don't have to work. You can just spend time with pals, watching rugby. He doesn't reply. Gesturing no with his cigarette. Someone hides behind a curtain. Those windows have eyes, and those eyes are watching.
My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
Martin Martinez? Good local name.
Occasionally. Why? No. I just like to look good. Trust me, I'm not a team player. No. We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
This isn't the place or time for questions. Who knows who might be watching from the distance, hidden behind the curtains? For a moment, the man on the balcony seems almost vulnerable. Something moves.
I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking for.
But, hold on. What's that? For a split second, his hand... It's a sign.
Good luck with the investigation.
He's gone. No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself. He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, he did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted to draw our attention to that stone right over there. If we find a way inside the building, we can ask around.
A stone. There's a key beneath it. Rusty.
This must be for the front door. Pity it doesn't have the apartment number on it. This building has many apartments and the man can be in any of them. We'll just have to go in and see.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The royal lion, Guillaume's kitten. This knocker will last a lifetime and then some. The door to the... You knock silently.
I guess no one is in? Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the RCM for, but every day tells you something new about yourself. Apparently, working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation is not something I'm squeamish about. I mind that the local thug is using the RCM for his busy work. But if this gets us to the... On the other hand, we could just leave and tell Evrard we opened the door. No one seems to be tailing us to see if we actually did it. Yes, presenting a fabrication is known to get results here and there. You took this task. You make the...
The door is right here. You can just open it and be done with this. Besides, if you never open it, you're never gonna find out what's behind the door. The door is slick with rain. In fact, This door has been closed with a padlock. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. This door has been closed with a padlock. The chalk drawn, the shackle snaps like a twig, and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud.
After you, detective.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads, honestly, he does kind of look like you after all.
The White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting. Hold on a second. Is this why you broke in here? To find out whether you're Krasmazov? Sure you are. Well, you both do seem to share an affinity for sideburns, but it seems like old Kras here didn't drink nearly as much as you. Ah, very well. Let's look for identifying features then. Doesn't he have a birthmark right here? What about you? Alright, but here's the big thing. Krasmazov looks Samaran, and you don't. Okay, you win. Be Krasmazov then. I don't care. Why are you so hell-bent on proving that you're Krasmazov anyway? I think you have misunderstood who he was, but if you say so. He was definitely controversial. The tenant here seems to like him. There aren't many communists around, not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems.
You hear someone walking around inside. The walking stops. You can feel tension on the other side. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely big.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
Later then, entering this door seems a physical challenge.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
This woman's health is failing her. There's not much to do. Not in this damp.
I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry.
You're still worried. It's very worrying.
Now, what do you want from me, policeman? Ask away, policeman. People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone. No one lives there. It's been empty for months. Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there. Maybe it's those countercultural people again, breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be great. Young people. Oh, that one is a scientist, a future scholar. I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study. Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall. That's what I said.
The lieutenant shakes his head, as though to say, come on, people. Try to keep up any standards here. It's not a...
The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster. She leaves an old lady.
She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief.
Oh, you'll find plenty of Martins here. Don't you worry. Pea-brain. Someone played a trick on you. Martinez is a name for anyone who comes from Martinez, like Jim Jamrock or Raoul Ravachol.
Oops, you really didn't get the joke there.
I thought it was obvious. Anyway, officer, we don't have the witness's name.
Yes, I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying.
What's he in trouble for? Talk? He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
I'm no one. If you can call it living. I have a little room. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain.
And all she gets, too. That isn't just a five-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram cradled in a wreath of antlers. The star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century and quickly adopted by Mezov and the even today, half a century after, the star and antler to symbolize the toppling of the old. Also, some social democrats were already using it. The wreath of antlers represents a natural crown. It was about building a society that could exist in accord with the natural world, and at the same time above it. Because white is the color of peace. Gone is the glory of hope. Only the scribblings of impoverished students remain. You hear someone walking. You hear someone walk.
Excuse me?
Scare them. Suspect there's no sweet talking your way in there. Be official.
Oh, on.
That was smart.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
Her voice is really cheerful.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too? Very well, but please make it quick. I need to be back in La Delta in an hour. Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff.
Oh, it irks her. The incompetence.
Well, it does not disappear from my hands. Now, don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea. Both apartments are now unrentable. I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place. It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business, but that was months ago. Anyway, of course.
Give me a moment. I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them. Yes, well, I hope they're good.
This door is made of metal and appears to number 28. This is where the clean...
Let's see if anyone's home.
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening. We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good? The smoker on the balcony. This is why we're here, right?
Suddenly, he's a little worried about your memory.
Tomorrow, 9 p.m., right here. Apartment number 28. Good, let's go.
Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk straps. After spending an entire day hustling, Who's to say that you didn't deserve a pair of ridiculously expensive shoes on your tired feet? Beautiful things give you a rush. It's power. Craft in your style, drape in your... Remember, when they come to take it away from you, you worked for those shoes, whether you like it or not. A shift in temperature, the air chills around you. Dust settles on... A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still, is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression, is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls.
Ooh, the piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves. But here you are. Yeah, I can see.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint, it's heavy fuel oil.
Red-dyed heavy fuel oil, intended for exclusive use in government vehicles.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back.
She really did it. She's proud of it too.
Oh, what? You'll push me off this ledge and pry the bucket from my dead hands?
Yes?
just an ordinary.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you? Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the... I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and...
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. It's a private matter.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man who'd rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or...
I'm fine, goddammit! Mind your own business!
It's his heart.
No one. The bus has been unmanned since last Monday.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes! It's...
Look, officer, the container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before, René.
the possibility of someone being in there is an...
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Look, officer, can we conclude the topic of my guard? She is nobody. This is not...
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't her.
Yes, yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway. Vigilance officer? What?
As René turns from you to his partner and back, the medals on his chest rattle and glare. He keeps his spine straight. And two, the larger one is shaped, a crowned head in front of two crossed right, a small blue star inside.
For bravery.
It's a conflicted topic for the old veteran. There must have been a number of controversial episodes in his service days.
I'm sure, but I know this uniform's reputation. You are also wondering if I got this for raping women or killing babies. Son, we should never forget our past. Forgetting those times means...
Whoa! Sounds like you're about to open the gates of conversation. This man will literally talk your ear off if you let him wander off to memory lane.
For doing my duty in the heat of battle, for looking my mortality in the eye, when...
He saved some muddy princeling who foolishly strolled into the front line in his gown of velvet and gold.
It was on the first months of the revolution here in Revachol. Unrest was... King Frisel thought he could end it all in one decisive strike. Alas, the young Drisson was all piss and no vinegar, wearing a tunic of purple velvet and cockatiel feathers
Purple velvet tunic.
To keep the long and bloody story short, Drisson marched us against the partisans in Coron. And when I say marched, I mean made us walk into captured enemy territory, single file, like toy soldiers, while he rode in front on his giant red stallion. The rebels were smart. They let us come real close before opening fire. Suffice to say, it was carnage. I got shot in the left shoulder and went down. Just a flesh wound. But just as I turned over, then his horse. driven mad by the noise and smell of gunpowder, stepped on my leg and shattered my knee.
It's painful to even think about. Hang on to the story. Veterans get sentimental after such retellings. This might yield something useful.
I grabbed my sidearm and shot the beast in the head.
Capitaine Arnoux, le fléau des chevaux.
When I came to, it was all over. It was just me and Jolas Tresson, gurgling in the blood-soaked mud right next to me. The dink had taken numerous flesh wounds and lost a lot of blood. But despite missing his jaw, he seemed hesitant to die. Tougher than he looked, that one. So I grabbed the dink and started crawling. Kept going until the 59th Cavalry picked. Through some miracle, we both survived. And the jealous freak convinced Frissel to give me a medal for not leaving him to die in his own blood. Piece and shit. He was the commanding officer and I was on duty. Just doing my job. Shouldn't hand out medals for that. 13 months later, I received the Sun for distinguished service. Bah! There were many such stories in those days. Many such men, too.
Oh, yes, René, yes. Men were bigger, girls were prettier, and everyone wore the fascia. Lord, please, bring those days back, if you...
I'm not getting into this with you again. Officer, was there anything else?
You should try to come up with a heroic story of your own. Impress this old soldier.
Vigilance officer? What can this...
Unfortunately, there doesn't...
Officer, the mere sight of police in Martinez makes me feel safer. Oh, sweet Jenny.
Do not defile her memory.
His tone lacks its usual intensity, like he doesn't feel he has the right to speak on the matter.
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street. She was René's first girl back when the...
And then you stole her from me.
Oh, officer. It already got ugly nearly 80 years ago when the three of us...
You stole her from me.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been pretty close ever since you two had that falling out over the ink you spilled over her pretty...
We were just boys then. This was different. No point starting this all over.
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. It was a... René and I were both by her bedside when she...
Died. No use sugarcoating it. Won't bring her back.
Departed. Until the very end she couldn't decide between us.
A quick grimace of pain passes over René's features, but he immediately regains control.
She could never make up her mind about anything. Well, she was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually get married. Heck, technically, we're both still in...
You always confused her. Couldn't let us be happy. So Justa with your fancy well.
He suddenly remembers you are still there. Fools.
Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left. Sweet, sweet... Of course,
Working class drunk. You know what this means, right? Cracked it. All in a good day's work. What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is. Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve, recruit. There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit.
Hello, dear. I did. Oh, dear. I'm not sure where to begin. Well, his expression is.
It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on. We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. We hit it off.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps.
I hope I've been useful. Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
Of course, dear.
The pile of Eternite looks stranger now that Kuno told you. The pile of Eternite looks stranger now that Kuno told. Because, unless Kuno lied, you should just be able to pull. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
So this is the shack Kuno mentioned.
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you.
No, I'm just a regular detective, thank you very much. Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. See that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret path.
old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Establish authority.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does you believe the place was called Precinct 41? It was also filled with, almost exclusively, you seen Apricot, old Purdue's daughter? Asks Lieutenant McCoy. Replies Torson, the ass on that one.
Huh? You got a problem with beer?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
Speak for yourself, buddy. We've been giving a shit for...
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week, kids dead, fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 3rd.
Congratulations on the graffito removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me?
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Just don't antagonize him. You have this already.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him.
You want to talk to her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you. If you don't, if you question her...
What is her name?
Glacia. I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirlwind Rags. A real pretty one. Silvery junk.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. Remember what...
Oh, it's her! It's definitely her! It's Miss Oranje, disco dancer!
Sure. Why not? You've probably seen her.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing. We just have a few more questions.
Whatever you do not tell him you know her. That would sound off.
Relationship? There was no fuck.
Something is off here. His anger is...
Was like that karaoke incident all over again.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
Remember what I said. Freight train of...
Officer, what was that? Yes. The victim? Is there something I should know before we talk to her? Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday. Okay, that's manageable. Understood. It doesn't matter how it went, officer. What else? We'll be alright, officer.
You feel fortified by his assurance. It's going to be alright. The door is closed.
Who is it?
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. It's been used quite a lot. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet.
An opioid receptor antagonist. It's used for diamorphine overdoses.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little. This medicine cabinet is stocked with a bright orange bottle with peptide stamped on it, in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed. This medicine cabinet is there it is. The orange sun wearing this. You dropped it. This medicine cabinet is stocked with there it is. The
Peptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy.
Welcome to the roof.
Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, then toned over several years of self-defense.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will. Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Have I ever? This is the one and only superstar cop. He's kind of a big deal around here. Wow. What brings the Phoenix back to me?
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man who was hanged. The people responsible have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, no need to dilly-dally. She's tough. You sound like a namby-pamby.
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean? By sexually assaulted, you mean...
Yes.
It's a bit early in the morning for...
She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered.
Is it? It is evening. Time flies, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
We partied. With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Oh, it is. You're still alive.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex.
Whoa. After so much drinking and drugs, how did they manage it?
Untraditionally, officer.
Your imagination starts whirring, whether you want it to or not.
I guess you can say that, yes. A bit. Lovers is such an emotional word.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
She appears aloof, but that scar part, the scary, is stressed and drawn out with longing. She misses him.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
They're frequent guests. Downstairs, they have a booth for union members. Over drinks. It's been a long, boring... A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus?
Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him?
I hope not. Actually, I know that's not the reason. I'm careful about that kind of thing. Not crossing the wires, you know? But that's probably where the men like that? I don't know. It's the way their imaginations work. I suspect it's what they'd like to do to me.
She changes balance from one foot to another, crossing her legs.
Pretty much.
Warming them. She must be very cold and exhausted of this life.
Oh yes. I have multiple viewpoints.
A bitter cringe. It...
You called us.
Yes. I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss.
I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it.
Which landline?
The one downstairs, officer. I used the whirling... I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. And he's still hanging there.
We will move the body to the morgue today, miss. Don't worry.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss.
As he says so, you feel the young woman looking at you and get a feeling you can't quite put your finger on. She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Yes. You're just one room away. Very personal.
You do not need to know that. What you need is to ask normal police questions, like...
Get a grip, he thinks. At least do your personal stuff when I'm not here.
Clasier Amandou. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. I'm 28. Something stupid.
Want to hear what's stupid? Somewhere in a one-room apartment on Boogie Street, a young man shows Patrol Officer Tilbrook his partner, Emil Mullins, can't be there. He's in another apartment with another man who's showing him a dead dog. And he's warm, Mullins replies, because he's under the radiator.
Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Back to me. The record. So official. Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m. drinking.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
I don't know. It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your... I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case.
Below, the hostel cafeteria creaks and groans under your added weight. A skeleton of composite support beams. A dull thump. Somewhere inside...
The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant. I hate it when that happens.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. Something cracks inside. It is an unbelievably satisfying sound,
Nice.
filling you with a belief in your own body.
Sounds like the property damage wasn't in vain, at least. Would it hurt?
Bent metal, broken glass. Your path lies strewn. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter. Kudos.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. You think so? Being candid is the best way to lie. The appearance of candor with some facts thrown in draws attention. She may be trying to control the pace of the investigation. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our inquiries will bring us back here.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new. Three weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer.
This is good. He likes it. There's a little smile there.
It was a stereo investigation after all. It has now converged with our main investigation, adding a new fact to consider. It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, behind our rape victim's room, in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
Large prints, most likely made by boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than vamp. The soles have left the pattern, uniform, horizontal lines.
The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person. No, these little horizontal lines are different.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints. Over there, in the corner. Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball.
The pinball machine. Gordy's Goats, a classic. A little.
Feels like a lot. Too much to play it again.
Ah, great.
Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats reads the golden lettering on top of the back box. Get the game on, Fingerboy. Those flippers are ready. Above the painting of a mustached man climbing a hill, the theme of the game is to explore Gordy's climb. Through the peak of the mountain is at the top of the playfield. Areas around the playfield represents Gordy's climb. Indeed, think of them as balls. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted.
There must be a key somewhere. Probably somewhere in the whirling. It's not too important. We can get in and...
This small elevator is dimly lit by smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a...
Seems so, although it's pretty quaint for a freight elevator.
There are large rectangular buttons. Monter, descend.
clowns are still hanging around. What is it now? Again. Just get the...
Good one, Titus.
Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him. Weren't you warned to not go down this path? Just because you can, doesn't mean you have to say everything that comes to mind.
Not in the arresting mood?
A fearful readiness, like an by your side. The lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. Easy. Walk back from the provocation. They're armed, and they outnumber us.
Wise move. You made the right... About fucking time. Again? Seriously, man. Yeah, what...
Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What?
What do you see? No, these prints are pretty standard. The ones in the dust looked custom. Or maybe they're just a foreign design. I don't know. They're about the same size. Not the same boot, no, but they could be the same person.
There are clothes inside.
Don't be shy. These are premium,
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded.
economical, but also trendy. Look firsthand. buy second hand. Keep. You keep coming back.
Something cold grazes your hand. This jacket is the apex of human evolution. Practical, and yet it may deaden your senses to the world around you. Possibly because
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
you see two lowly,
I can see you've a taste for luxury, officer.
a pair of found ultras.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers.
Only that's madness. These once respectable speakers have been conquered.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. Then look at them again. These are the premium lifestyle sneakers, officer. No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk. Well, but see, they are the pedestal for my sneak. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneak.
These once respectable speakers.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at these, officer? No way, officer. No, officer. You're a high-class policeman. Well, if you... But see, they are... If, on the other hand...
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assembly. The name, Sile.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool. The goods are cool.
From out on the bay, a cool wind gathers. It sweeps into the city, tugging.
You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang. You're right, officer. 100%. No playing around then. Strictly business. Maybe... Everything's still cool here, officer.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a...
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the...
Abort. These are hideous. What?
Damn, officer! You look like a mega...
They're perfect for concealing your bloodshot.
No, you are definitely not buying those.
Are you sure? But they look so good on you. You should think this...
These are
all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, superb material. The shine on these sunglasses...
no luck.
The shine on these sunglasses...
no luck.
The shine on these sunglasses. Oh, very interesting.
This is how a sea monster sees the world. Yes, but they also make your...
Wow, officer. You look so... And they can be yours for a mere 3...
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps...
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
Hello, hello. Sure thing. Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls. They went their way. It was a trip.
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
Sure, man.
You see rows of toy soldiers. Try to find something pretty and cool here. Then why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless...
Oh, that's the headless phone rider. There's been a lot of interest in that particular figure.
He doesn't elaborate on these wrong hands. It's unlike...
I've heard about it. I've heard the headless phone rider rides a...
Yes, there are several competing versions of the story. But the headless phone rider. It's an urban legend. 50 cents. Bargain priced. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or some... Did I mention...
That was a very smooth salesman's grin that almost comes off as earnest. You should learn from him. Yes, this sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy. They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielded...
Which ones? Ah, those.
Still here, stuck in this damn... Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way... But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man? Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing?
Entrapment is where a law officer gets a person to commit a crime.
Yes. It's like trying to trick a person into doing something criminal that they'd never do. So you do realize entrapment...
So much for subtlety. Better get straight to the...
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this...
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit. Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
The tear machines. Your bottles clunk into...
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything. Because Frit has an army. Yeah, like 2,000 or so. I don't know. It stops people from robbing Frit, I guess. If they know there's an army.
Businesses often hire private security this side of the river. It's an unfortunate state of affairs, but not unheard of.
You think the police, like, bother catching shoplifters? Frit polices themselves, so...
You better behave yourself in this fritte, or who knows what will happen.
A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe.
She looks up from...
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
This door is made of metal. This door is made of... No one answers.
We should return tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9 p.m.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. A small mountain of color. These shelves are overburdened with. The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of. This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biography. Several maps have been attached. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. Yes, yes. Are you interested or not? Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
clowns are still hanging around. What is it now? Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
You've hit a nerve. Titus is furious. No,
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you.
His hands become fit.
And you went and pushed her.
Titus Hardy!
Success. Titus backs off. Goddamn, no one tells you to put your fists.
Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south...
Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in...
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad, listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man. You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you?
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth.
I won't be on your bulletin board. What's on it? We call it the door gun a mega mix. You'll know why. Won't you listen to it? You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that. We have machines. We're in logistics.
Understood? You've listened in on their communication.
Since way before their chief started taking swing.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something.
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this? Why don't you try shoving?
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy. You do that. Oh, and keep... Yeah, you do that.
Coach, physical instrument. Wait, how did you know all those hammer throw techniques? How do you know how to hold a discus? Or the world youth record in discus? Something doesn't add up here. This mushy thing between your ears didn't know the name of the city you're in, but it comes loaded with trivia about the correct chin position of a shot-put ball. Could it be that? Shut up, namby-pamby. This train of thought ends abruptly. It's leg day. Straighten your rhombus muscle. It's shirts versus skins. Take your shirt off, Namby. Your skins.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
How could anyone forget, asshole? The compact tape player. The broken tape player doesn't have the ability to respond. The compact tape player. The broken tape player doesn't have the ability to A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation. Ah, yes. The night before I saw you in the hallway and reminded you you're a police officer. Wow. Elysium. You don't hear that term often.
She's a glib girl, but she liked the wording.
There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music. I can't say. Probably not. Sounded like you were flying solo. Oh, yes. Various artists. Were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course, like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on. It would appear so. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and a slow, sad song started playing. Like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. That it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a wounded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it. Yes, it was very cool. Then you started screaming and trashed the place. No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like a window was smashed, the tape player probably, the song stopped. And furniture too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out. There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then, around 4 or 5. And that was it.
She feeds herself another cigarette.
Yeah.
No one likes to talk about their dirty laundry and their empty bottles. Maybe if you phrase it emotionally.
Yeah. I've contaminated it pretty bad. The contamination spreads from room to room. First, I escaped upstairs. The sad got that too. Then I found the handle for the summer door. For me, it's a mix of me with a lack of cleaning services. How about you? Talk around the establishment is, you have an industrial sad spill in there.
Somewhere below, military-grade SAD is dripping off the walls. You should say the first thing. It's honest. It will lead to introspection.
That's where it always comes from, isn't it? From the head and from the past. Sounds like an advanced form of what I've got, with a bit of old love sprinkled on top. Love is terror.
Sheer terror, panic, and screaming.
I did not. Mystery solved then. I kept wondering where it led.
There may be more to this mystery at some later time. She's holding back. Let's make a mental note for now.
Huh. This isn't good.
She feels like quarry, encircled. Her eyes dart to the door.
Okay. I'm glad someone...
She's lost in thought. Eyes narrowed, forehead furrowed.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol. No, don't listen to the stiff. Be cool.
With money, sir. It's not exactly the NT-star size caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting... Comes in handy when you've done too many Better safe than sorry. Oh, yes. One of my favorites. Like, not being able to stay up for 36 hours. Not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a merit speed molecule, basically. Very funky. I'm wintering. About 4 months. I came in November. Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol. Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez. And because all the other buildings are bombed to hell. Okay. I was just thinking, what a night.
She looks back.
I was just thinking, what a nice evening.
Soft, light brown eyes look back at you, directly into the space behind your eye sockets. I have bad news for you. You know these guys? Who, me? Yes, he's talking about you, you sinewy idiot. You too. Me? What have I done this time? These guys are compromised. She's got them singing along to her tune. The little bleeps and bloops you trust for info, you can't trust them anymore. Believe it. How it always does, through subtlety. There's nothing you can do about it. You are how you are, and she is how she is. Things will go as they do. No. It's better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it, is it not? There's no way of knowing. At the moment, I'm afraid it's best to assume. All of them. Bullshit, man. I ain't compromised. Especially that guy. That guy's the most compromised one in here. No fucking way, man. I just want a drag of that sweet menthol Ziggy. Really? Quick, tell me what's under her jumpsuit. Glory, truth, softness. Protect her. She wants you. I take it back. He's got it pretty bad. But this next guy's on another level entirely. She likes you. The crown head is a boring condom. He's jealous. This is human nature. You can't draw a sound conclusion. The one he usually does says, "Huh? No, Mr. Conclusion. You're always kind of limited in your analytical abilities." That's not her fault. I think it's safe to assume, yes, Mr. Thespian here hasn't been speaking up. If he were, I suspect there would be peons to her truth. No, he's not going to show up. I'm sorry. Your lie detection isn't working. It's not her doing. He's just totally inept. No, not an idiot. You're just more of a sensitive type. Thinks with his heart. Don't worry. It's only been 4 or 5 seconds. You've got this. The silence broken.
God, no. Yeah? All right. Not my favorite topic, but okay. I'm 89% sure. You know how it is.
Do you?
Maybe you don't. In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here. Serious.
You hear cracking in her.
Let me make this 100% clear then, officer. How about we... It sounds like the boys would have preferred my saying it did happen. I didn't want to get caught up.
She is not at all worried the tape will contradict.
What does that recording say? May I suggest the stereo system in your room? Mine, unfortunately, only comes with a mimsy little radio. Ah, another broken thing in a line of broken things. Well...
This medicine cabinet, there it is. The orange sun wearing blister pack. This medicine cabinet, there it is. Feels like gold in your hands. Light. The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not... The bed is still cold. The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
Here we are again, my broken bud. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself. You're not cooperating. It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly.
Every cell in your body is moaning in agony, asking, what did we ever do to you?
Now, you're finally thinking about something other than yourself. Let's see how far that'll get you.
Oh, yes. That'll check you out. Give you some pills.
Don't be stupid, Harry. It's not happening. They don't make new kidneys and livers in hospital. All you've got to do is pray to God it passes and stare at the flickering darkness.
You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people, really looking. But why would you want to? Sure you do.
Some of them are. Some of them are nice. Others are scared.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights blinking in and out of existence.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings.
Yes?
The woman in an RCM patrol officer's unit.
I would really prefer not to talk to you right
A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM, below lieutenant and sergeant.
I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you? No, you haven't wronged me. It's okay. Okay, fine. Let's talk. What did you want? What precinct?
Am I from? God.
Fucking deranged lunatic.
I don't...
Don't say anything, Judith. Me? No. I'm just a man with sunglasses. I like wear...
I'm just looking out...
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses.
I just want to do my job, that's all.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a second. Sylvie Malaika. Yes. Hello? Oh, great. What else do you need, detective? No, absolutely not.
Ouch. That's like 20 points of pride damage right there, buddy. You hear the call.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
10-4, come in. Fireworker, over. 10-4, sir. Sorry, but I'm under order. 10-4. Anything else? Roger that. 10-10.
This is Precinct 57. Just a... Sylvie Malaika. Yes. Hello? Oh, great. What else do you need, detective? No? Not me. Yeah, go on. Uniform.
One of the men, trying not to slip on old newspapers, makes his way to the window. Goddamn. Officer Michelle Elfboy Williams speaks to himself. His partner, Sundance Fisher, looks at you. Hear the...
Anything else I can help? 57.
In the cabin.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm very sharp, officer.
The apricot suzerainty is what the Seaguy archipelago is commonly known as in Revachol. It's a bit...
No, apricots come from Seaguy. My grandma used... Speaking of, why not support only the coolest goods in Revachol? I've got sneakers. I'm an entrepreneur, officer. Good joke, officer.
You glance around the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather.
It's beautiful.
It is, yes. Anyone can set up their shop whenever they feel like.
That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its law officials hyper cool. No need for discounts at ceilings, officer. Everything's already on sale. Anything you want, anything for you.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control. You grab the handle and pull the lever up. As soon as the metal connects against the contact, the water lock starts moving.
Okay, if we ever need to get to the coast, then this is the way. But please, contain your wanderlust for now. I don't want us to get sidetracked, not with everything that's going on.
Focus on one thing. Achieve it. Indirect modes of taxation. Turns out, Those Financial Oversight Committee gangsters stuffed millions of hard-earned dividends away in the last place anyone thought to look. The hearts and minds of everyday Rivasholians. You need to spread that deregulation gospel to the people. Tell them about that foreign fair tax. Preach that 98% gross burden. Preach it. Bang, it must be cold and lonely.
My guess is it started its journey from the plaza, where it biked through. I agree. We should definitely investigate.
You get a sudden, sinking feeling. Why the doom and gloom? It's just a sunken motor carriage. The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Rust, moss, and sea life have already claimed it for themselves and initiated a slow decomposition process. The logo is too deep in the murky water.
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been... Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside. I don't know. An hour or...
As you sit down in the old... Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around.
Yes, it does. Let me think about it.
It's impossible to say if it's happening, if the clouds pass in the sky and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed.
I'm pretty sure I told you already, didn't I? My dad and mom are both half Seolite.
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
Luckily, I am already a member of an independent organization, and therefore do not have to choose between a rock and a hard place.
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for? I'm sorry, Harry. I'm so sorry.
"41. Precinct 41. A massive pit opens up in your stomach. You feel like you're about to faint. And oh God, Harry. Oh God, Harry. What did you do? No. Just no. Say no to this, Harry.
Yes, your car is in the sea. Face it, so we can start dealing with this. I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you drove your police motor carriage into the sea after you jumped across the canal.
The lieutenant adjusts his... There is also a fourth thing you've lost. More precious than the gun, the badge, and the motor carriage combined.
People are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly.
People, yes, but not you.
We can still do that. Besides, the night is always darkest before the dawn. That is very unlikely. You'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. Well, not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than... Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to my kinema. Yes, let's go take a look.
Anti-object task force. Behold, the anti-object task force has assembled. God's avenging angel, arrayed against the lower emanations of the darkened one. Shoe racks, tape recorders, motor carriages, and doors. So many doors. You're not just pounding it all to pieces. You're reforging the universe, from the anvil of the heavens to the worms below. Indulge in it. Be bold. Have an impact on the shape of creation.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? On the contrary, officer. There are yet camionneurs you have not talked to. And don't look so... I suggest you go... By love, you did. Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter?
How about you share your information on the lynching?
The goalposts have moved, Lieutenant. In the absence of the badge, I have informed my employer. I cannot rescind that promise. To my knowledge, the drivers are still at the roundabout. I will tell you everything I know when you... My plan is to share information. The only way to do that now is by telling...
How bad can the info she has be?
The sooner the probe is finished, the sooner...
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man.
At least something good came out of all this.
Encased between two durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information. You see a photo, a name, a rank. The man keeps winking at you with his green-grey eyes. The photo is a good choice. A newer photo would look 8, maybe 10 years. What do you think? His face is already contorted by it looks better on him because he isn't in as much pain while producing it as you are. Don't be fooled. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light.
Harrier. That's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Evrard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't. It's a wartime name. Revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times. Like Undying or Boxer or I...
It's meant to keep you safe from bullets, hunger, shrapnel, kidnappings, and worse.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
He's not going to call you Harrier. He'll keep calling you Officer when he's... The badge in your hands shines as you rotate it, catching light.
Lieutenant W. Freighter. The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant. The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined. There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's decomptage might be taken. Or sometimes promoted officers do not. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank. In your case, lieutenant.
Heavy-duty case-solving machine.
Decomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol Citizens Militia. It means counting down to 2s. The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, then a captain. Kings like satellite officers and the...
The long and short of it is, you're his superior.
You are given the title of satellite officer if your partner is quickly promoted through the ranks and you rise with him. You don't seem to be a satellite. No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you are doing good police work. It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea. And now we've even found your badge.
He trusts you, for now. Try not to spoil it.
Yes, apparently you've had a rather successful career in the past, and this leads me to believe maybe your current situation is only temporary. Good.
Such a small yet precious...
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there 4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of... A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been...
The pain in your chest tells you you were working yourself. The case created a lot of edge you have to take off. The death march really gets us going. A lot can happen in 4 months, especially in winter. The winters are never easy on you.
I remember that time! That was a good time. We had a good work-drink balance going. What happened, man? Pump it up!
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41. Like mine says 57. The 57th, it's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have...
It's no wonder you are like you are, he thinks. But then again,
it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva.
And you? Is it an honor to work with you? Don't ask him. Ask the badge in your hand. You stare at the grate. The tape feels ominous. Upon it, an old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece. Secured, a silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "Not a good track record of mental health in that family." What did he do? High above you, the king stands triumphant. wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter. Some cigarette. Nothing. Her smile. No. This one is a monster in disguise. No response. Wherever.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you?
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the weary aspect.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam. Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution. The side walls and cafe until you came along, that is. Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better.
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hanging somehow.
Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Harife? I'm starting to think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are...
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco.
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Tiny. There are too many discrepancies in all this.
I could have told you that from just looking at them.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals. What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel, if you don't know, you're mad, Lowman. What of it? Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grat, on the U41A. What? No, Lowman.
Damn this. Make her answer.
Easy. Is the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagull, or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back.
I think we're done here, no?
Yes, go. Enough.
Promising raised pupil returns. Babe, see that they stay here the whole time. The woman's gaze.
So, you guys are like cops or something? Look at him. His craniometric perfection. Have you ever thought that maybe...
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could...
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops!
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
Shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. The man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner. Approaching him, walking past him.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. And what you had to do was to become a...
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? The little boy had it good on his promise. To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of... Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes. It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
He thinks, not yet. Better to get this business out of the way.
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia. Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, and I would leave the boots to processing, but okay.
And Mesqui's epic there, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you. No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor.
Los Ardis? They're an independent... They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that.
Is he actually comparing you, an officer of the law, to some neighborhood vigilantes? The man whispers a jaunty